Man, this interview was fucking crazy. Like, they didn't even let this nigga talk. You know what I'm saying? They asked him about some dumb shit. Charlamagne pissed me the fuck off. He asking this nigga about crazy shit. You know, he basically just trying to say that he copied a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like the Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake comparison again with the new album. And then with he brought up the first album, then he brought up this album, and it's just like every time Logic tried to explain something, it's like, oh, with J. Cole, you know, he visit fans too. Then you hear him say that this nigga went on a tour. He went on a tour. J. Cole man went to 2 people's houses. No offense to J. Cole, he's dope, but it's just like I just felt like this interview they just so undermined him and didn't take him serious. That's why I use this picture. Just look at his face. It's like, man, this shit is crazy. You know, I give Hot 97 more respect because they actually let him, you know, they got to the real shit. These motherfuckers just want to talk about gossip and dumb shit, and they didn't really get into the album. And Charlamagne just picking little shit in interviews and saying, oh, you said this on Vlad, but didn't watch the Vlad interview. And it's just like, nigga, he put an incredible album together. You know what I mean? Like, talk about that. I hate that sucker shit. He don't do that shit to nobody else. Nigga, you had motherfucking Wale or whoever that was on that bitch for an hour, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then he come on here and he put out a great body of work, and you say you love the culture and you love rap, but yet you don't even talk about his album. I'm confused, Charlamagne. Like, that shit is, oh man, that fuck it.
Now, one thing I noticed about this album, well, I noticed it with the last album. The last album sounds a lot like Good Kid, Mad City. Like a lot of your flows is like real Kendrick.
I wouldn't say it's the flows. I say probably, you know, there's 1 or 2 joints on there where the production was like that, and you know, there's a lot of cats in TDE, and shout out to all of them, man. That helped me work on the album, and I think at the end of the day, it was, you know, about an adolescent growing up, and I was telling my story. That was
a lot like Kendrick, a lot like Cole. Even Drake at times.
At times, I guess you could say that. But I mean, these are, you know, you could say the same thing about Nas on the album. You could say the same thing about Wu-Tang, about, you know, all these different incredible legends, and legends that I've met and have, you know, commended me for essentially having so much of the culture, both new and old, in my music, and having a respect and not being scared to just be myself, you know, and wearing these influences. These are all people that made me who I am, that I'm inspired by, or, you know, want to, I don't know, just do my best to understand this game as a whole. And that's another thing that really set me free, especially on this album. I was like, I don't give a damn. Like, they feel or don't feel. Like, you know, if there's an artist who wants to paint a beautiful sky, don't tell him that he can't paint the sky pink.
Now, does the label have any influence on yours? And there's kids around the block that crying to meet you. But, you know, you have a hardcore audience. But when it comes to radio or you being a bigger artist, it seems like we don't really see that part of you.
For sure. You know, I think that'll come 100%. I think it's inevitable.
You're selling 90,000, predicted to sell over 90,000.
But why should it be here if I'm already doing the numbers? You see what I'm saying? For me, it's about the message.
It's working for you.
Yeah, it's about the message. Peace, love, positivity, you know, ill raps, I'd like to say so myself, having a good time, having fun. And if that record comes, which it will, it's just going to happen naturally. I'm not going to go in. I've been in the studio. That's what I'm saying. But there was times when I was younger, and I'm still young. You know, I got a long way to go, hopefully. I'm still here, second time. Hopefully we have a third. But, like, think about, I've been in the studio like, oh, man, that was crazy. Like, I'm trying to, I need to be on the radio. I need to be on the radio because I want it. Like, every artist, I don't care who you are, if you're underground, this
you're
and that.
lying
like,
if you're saying you don't want to
we all want to be on the radio because
radio.
it's just more people that are going to hear your message. That's why when people be like, oh, so-and-so's mainstream or Logic's going mainstream, it's like, bro, why would you not want a message of peace, love, positivity, and following your dreams to be heard around the world on the radio? So,
and he makes a valid point. Why the fuck should we chase a sound? Then as soon as he do it and make a radio single, you niggas gonna categorize him as a one-hit wonder, an album just full of bullshit, and he just on motherfucking radio songs. He can't make actual songs. You know, he's following so-and-so or he's doing this. That's the problem with the music industry. It's just like, nigga, he came from underground. You see, a lot of people didn't even know who the fuck he was on his first mixtape. He addressed that shit on Hot 97. By the second mixtape, that's when I discovered him, thanks to Dead End Hip Hop. By the third, I was like, damn, this nigga's incredible. It showed on Young Sinatra Undeniable, it showed that, okay, he has some appeal to where it's more than just lyrics. You know what I mean? Far as you can hear the difference in Young Sinatra and Young Sinatra Undeniable. You definitely can hear the different sound that he chose. You know what I'm saying? Far as the content, the flow, the production, it was different from Young Sinatra. And then Welcome to Forever, shit, that should have been an album because it had album quality material on it. But then he was like, that's it. That's the last free item I'm ever giving away. And I said it then. I said, I don't think you should step away from that because that's what got you to where you at. You never forget where you came from. You feel what I'm saying? Because you even have veteran artists that still got to take a step back and go back to where they came from, which is the mixtape game, to get them fans back and let you know, like, no, I still do this. So I think in a long run, him not really putting out mixtapes will hurt him because fans ain't always going to wait, okay, he's been gone really no time. He been 2014, 2015. Okay, this time he probably should take at least 2 years off. You know what I'm saying? To give fans a reason to miss him. But at the same time, it's just like with no music, the way the industry is, they'll just be like, okay, they'll write him off as, a J. Cole knockoff, or he just was biting everybody else's style. They don't give him all his credit he deserves anyway. So at the same time, I feel he shouldn't just, totally leave the underground alone because that's where you came from. I don't agree with him when he said that shit because I think that's total bullshit. I don't get why even any artist does that. You don't get to that much, I guess, success to where it's like, I don't really care about you guys anymore. I'm over here making these millions. I'm on a world tour. Yeah, but if it wasn't for the fans listening to the mixtapes, going crazy for the mixtapes for any artist, you wouldn't be where you at. I definitely feel like, you know what I'm saying? I think with the thing with Logic, in my personal opinion, you have like fans that's been riding with him with day one clashing with the, I guess, new people that's discovering him around the time, the J. Coles and the Drakes, and then they just now hearing him and they feel like, oh, well, he's biting from J. Cole, or he's biting from Kendrick, or he's biting from Drake. They didn't see the, beginning of his career. I think that's the problem where you have those type of fans where whatever is popular on blogs or artists, they clash and, they'll go and listen to that and like, oh, he just sounds like J. Cole. But it's like, yo, you didn't hear none of his earlier shit? Like, you do know it's different shit out there. You know what I mean? Same thing happened with J. Cole when he came out. It's like, oh, he sounds like Drake. Kendrick came out, what did they say? Oh, he's trying to sound like J. Cole. So why do they do that to all four of these niggas? I would never understand. But at the same time, it's just like, he has he has songs on both albums that could have been on the radio. It's the way that they play radio songs. It's how they use the radio to promote certain commercial ass shit. He got a lot of dope shit that can be on the radio. To me, City of Stars should be on the radio. Yeah, it does remind you of Flashing Lights, but wasn't Flashing Lights on motherfucking the radio? Wasn't a lot of songs from 808s and Heartbreak on the radio? I think I heard Amazing on the radio. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't seem like a commercial song, but it's the melody to go with it. City of Stars has that. Buried Alive from Under Pressure has that. So I don't understand why he's not getting a radio push. That's the confusing part to me with Def Jam. It's just like, okay, what type of commercial shit do you want him to make? Like club party type records? He done that on mixtapes before, like, those type of records. So I don't really understand what is the thing that they don't give him his credit for. You know what I mean? I'm not being just the biggest, oh my God, a fanboy of Logic. No, it's just that I understand the music. Everybody has that in their career to where they had that point where even when J. Cole first came out, how many motherfuckers really liked that album? Keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Born Sinner was a little different, but at the same time, he still got a little slack. It's not until he got into his own, with his third album, it's like, okay, this is J. Cole. You see what I'm saying? But they didn't ridicule each of these artists as much as they do this nigga. And I don't understand that. I won't say I won't appreciate it. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, they say that this nigga sampled the Travis Scott thing. I heard Kendrick did the same shit. They praised it, say they paying homage. Logic does it. He's a biter. It's confusing to me. You know what I mean? But I don't really need to go on about the interview. I just feel like this is this total craziness, and I don't understand it. Especially DJ Envy being a DJ, he understands real music from bullshit. You're a DJ, you know real music from bullshit any day. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne swears up and God in every interview, he likes bars, he likes good music, and it's no way you can tell me you didn't listen to this project, even the first one. And yeah, he may have cadences of those other artists, but at least two of them he rap better than. I'm not going to say which two, you decide that shit, but at least two of them he rap better than. You know what I'm saying? It's only one artist of the four of them that's on par with him. You know what I mean? But that's just, I don't know. I thought this interview was fucking crazy and it was bullshit, and I just had to, speak my piece on it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought if y'all saw it. One.
The concept is different, but if you are listening to the music and you say, okay, it sounds like a Cole record, it sounds like a Drake record, Kanye, whoever, how can it really be different?
I think it's different because it's me and nobody's rapped it like me. Nobody's done it like me, and that's real. You know, like when I'm in the studio, like even for example, and this is a story I love. Like on the intro, you hear the drums to Amazing. I hear the drums from the soundtrack to Akira, and I had never heard drums like this ever. Like I mean, obviously I'd heard them in movies and stuff, but I was like, man, where the hell could I get this? This is incredible. So I called No ID because obviously he worked on 808 and Heartbreaks.